Here we go.
You're tuning in to Will Love Listen. Now listen.
Kristen Taekman, thank you for joining me today. I'm very excited to speak with you. I've been a fan of yours since you were on Housewives years ago, and now you're back with Ultimate Girls Trip. And I know there's a lot going on in your life, just, having built a career within the fashion and beauty space. So I want to kind of dive into everything with you. And this interview, as you know, it'll be on the podcast, of course, and it'll also be out in Jersey Magazine. So I'm excited for people to get an update on you and excited to see you on the show because from the trailer, it looks like you're really spicing things up.
I know. I just did interviews this morning and someone called me the wild card. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's a good thing.
It is. We need like the entertainment factor back on Housewives. I feel like Housewives over the past few years have become too safe, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the women on the shows, especially like Beverly Hills, for example, are very self-aware and they don't want to do anything that's going to like rock the boat or cause controversy. And that's kind of what makes the show go from being real and like a docuseries to being boring. So
Yeah.
I love a wild card. But but before we get into the show and like all this new stuff, I want like to go back a little bit because you have like a very extensive modeling career. And I know you know a lot of other models. I know you worked with Brandi Glanville and you're good friends with her.
Yes.
Emma Hemming Willis, Bruce Willis's wife. So I want to like go back to like your early days. So how did you make your way in the entertainment industry and establish yourself as a model?
Well, not really entertainment, just the fashion industry. So I started modeling when I was 14, right out of high school, and even before then, obviously. And I went to like a little local John Casablanca's school because we didn't really know how to get involved with modeling. So I started in this school atmosphere. So I learned the ropes. And that was like in the mid 90s. And then I signed with Elite Models and they sent me to Milan for 3 months. And then I lived in Paris for 3 years. And then
Wow.
after that, I came back to New York with Elite and, lived in Manhattan and then modeled. And then, and that, I mean, that's kind of it. I kind of did like I think people forget sometimes that with modeling, you can have this big career without really being known. There's so much work, especially back then. Like I was a really solid catalog girl. So it worked a ton, but you wouldn't necessarily know my name or who I was. So kind of worked consistently all those years and still work. I had a job a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. So how
Yeah.
long, so if you started at age 14 and you've been doing it this entire time, that's amazing.
I know. I'm 46. I'm still modeling. That's crazy.
No, I
And
think
kind
it's
of
great.
amazing because the whole world has evolved so much. It's like age doesn't really matter anymore, which is great. And I think also, in your 40s, you're actually selling clothes to women in their 60s and 70s, which is nice because back when I first started, you were in your 20s selling clothing to the women in their 60s and 70s. And, I always say to my mom always says like, no, it's nice. You want to see somebody that looks older,
Yeah.
so looks more like them.
So that's really impressive. So what were some of like the larger like brands or campaigns that you've done?
I remember like I did something for I think it was, I don't know if it was Budweiser or Bud Light back in the day, and I had like a full life-size cardboard cutout in all the liquor stores. Like that was so, oh my God, that was so fun. I remember going home and my my mom actually went to the store and was like, "This is my daughter. Can we have this when this whole ad finishes?" So they have it at our house in Connecticut. So funny. So every now and again, like I'll go up into the attic and I'll be like, ah, there I am with my beer. Um, yeah, and I did the only Vogue I've ever done is Australian Vogue, which is kind of fun. Shot with them. So yeah, I mean it's all like, little fun, silly stuff. No like huge campaigns. That's what I'm saying. It's like my career's always been like slow and steady wins the race. I actually genuinely just enjoy what I do and it's fun. And it's nice to be able to still do it.
Yeah, especially because like that's like a long trek. So kudos. And you touched upon a good
Yeah.
point. I don't think a lot of people realize, especially today in like the age of like, I feel like there are so many people, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree, that get into the industry based upon like already having a name or being an influencer. And I feel like in like the 90s when you really started to establish yourself, you had to like work towards it. You couldn't be like
Yeah.
a Kardashian or a Hadid. You had to like take it more
Yeah.
seriously. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. 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 No, for sure. I mean, it's really like a job. I mean, it was really my job for a very, very long time. And then like the whole mommy thing happened, but I've kind of consistently modeled for, honestly, since I was 14. I modeled through both pregnancies, was living in New York, moved to LA, modeled here I had my kids, moved back to New York, so I've been back and forth, kids, modeling pregnant, modeling not pregnant, modeling pregnant when I wasn't pregnant. You know how they do that? They put that baby bump on you. It's so crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Done a ton of that stuff. So yeah, it's still kind of going strong. And the good news is the market is still there, which is the best part. There's definitely still a market for somebody like me. So it's good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember when you were on the show, your husband had a company, eBoost.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to take that actually. I think it
Oh,
was,
no way.
yeah, I used to take that. I think it was in the vitamin shop or what have you, but I used
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah. Still
mix
is.
it in
Yeah.
with
And Whole
drinks.
Foods. Hmm.
I like that. I like that. So, when did you meet your husband and like establish your family? And did you meet him through your work or no?
No, no, no. We just met through mutual friends in New York. We just had our 19th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So we met in like 2001. I think, is that right with the math? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I just met through mutual friends in New York, and then yeah, got married, and then 2 years later had our first kid. Yeah.
And you grew up on the East Coast, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, Jersey
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, I know. I know exactly. Love it.
that's
Love the
awesome.
little tri-state action.
Yeah,
So good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously you built up your career, you now have your husband, your family, etc. How did you make your way onto Real Housewives of New York? Well, I remember back in the day, was it because Brandi referred you or how did it happen?
So I've been, super good close friends with Brandi for a million years. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding. So we go way back where, we say ride or die. And that's like so true. So I was living in New York. She was on Beverly Hills, and she flew in. She would always fly in to do press or film or whatever. And at that time, the upfronts, you know anything about the upfronts? The upfronts was just a Bravo upfront. Now NBC does like a blanket upfront. So it's like a couple of people from each show. But
Yeah.
back then it was just Bravo. So it was crazy. She literally calls me. She's like, hey girl, we're going out tonight. I've got this big party. And I was like, okay, cool. So, at that point, my daughter was like not even a year. So I was like in full mommy mode. I swear I dusted off some random dress, put my party shoes on. And I was Brandi's friend. I mean, I literally just, showed up to this like crazy upfront party with her, helped her take pictures with fans, held her purse. And I was just loving being there, supporting my friend. And, then I saw Heather Thompson was there, and Carol from, back when I was filming. And Heather and I go back with Josh. So Josh and Heather used to work together at Bad Boy. So I knew Heather. So here I see Heather, and it was like kind of taken out of context. I'd forgotten that she was on the show. And so, she'd only been on the show one season at that point. So I don't know. So we were catching up or whatever and chatting with Carol, and Carol and I actually had a lot of friends in common. And then randomly, Brandi had mentioned something to Andy saying like, hey, this is your next New York housewife. And I had we'd never even spoken about it. So it was like, and Brandi didn't know they were looking for somebody. She just like kind of blurted that out. And then apparently they were looking for a new girl. So, I went through the whole interview process, and then here we are. It's crazy. It was nice because I feel like it was really organic. I actually genuinely knew some of the women, obviously knew about the show from Brandi. So it was like it kind of came full circle, and it was like a really natural kind of a thing.
Yeah, which I think is always refreshing. I also feel like
Oh,
you could tell that
totally.
as a viewer when
Oh,
someone
really?
actually knows someone in real life
Yeah.
versus when they just bring him in through someone else and they meet like a week before
Mhm.
filming at like some lunch. Like you could always tell
Yeah,
like the chemistry. And then when it comes out,
totally.
it's like that they just met like a week before and they didn't know each other. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Or they pretend to have known each other. Yeah, that's always a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I did feel like you when you were on it, it was like prime Housewives. Um,
Totally.
yeah, it really was. So what did you think of your time on the show, those 2 seasons?
I
And
mean,
I was and did you not come back because of the scandal that came out at the time?
no. So basically, it's funny. You haven't seen, well, you haven't seen any of the shows. They'll come out on Thursday. But no, I think my time on the show. I mean, listen, I think it was great. I had a lot of fun. Was put way out of my comfort zone. Doing a ton of things I'd never done before. Like I like to joke, like go to the Upper West Side or East Side. I'm joking because I was such a downtown girl. Like I'd go up to the Upper East Side and be like, "Where am I? This is scary." I'm kidding. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I'm in fashion. My husband's an entrepreneur. So I think being on a show like this wasn't like completely off the grid for us. Having been in like modeling and all of that, it was just I felt like it was a little bit of an extension for me to do this. So which is good. And then wait, what was the other question? Oh, going off. Yeah, people don't realize, it's funny because it comes up in this next show that the legacy. I think people don't realize it's like you're contracted to do a job and you're not necessarily, everybody's likes to say you're fired, but you don't get hired to do 6 seasons. You get hired for a season. And then
Yeah.
you either get asked back or you don't. So I mean, it doesn't really matter to me what you call it. It's like you don't get asked back, you don't get asked back. And then fortunately for me, I got to deal with everything privately, which was nice.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is true. I think a lot of fans though do think, and maybe you could like clarify this,
Yeah.
um, they think that you actually quit the show because
Hmm.
of the Ashley Madison scandal. Is that true or no?
No, mm-mm. It just my contract was up and then it finished.
Oh,
And
okay.
then that was it. Yeah.
All right.
Which was crazy. Yeah.
Do you feel
So it
like
worked out.
it worked out for you, at least in your personal life, because you were able to navigate and get through that without having the camera be like a microscope on your relationship?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Yeah, of course. For sure.
Do you think it would have been more difficult had it been documented?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Now, what were some of your highlights on the show when you were on when
Um, I really liked going to Montana, even though that trip was like, you mean from before filming, right? Not the
yes,
new one. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I thought Montana was so fun. I think for viewers too, and even for the girls, like we were way out of our comfort zone. Like we were really, on horses with cowboys. Like it was like city slickers. I feel like that was I thought that was a really good moment. Even visually, it was beautiful, doing things that were kind of out of the norm for all those girls. That was one of my favorite parts. And then just exploring parts of New York City that I feel like I hadn't really experienced before. Like at the time I was a young mom and, you know, definitely like taking the time to go, have caviar lunches and go to fun parties and you know what I mean? Like I think that was cool. And exploring parts of the city that I normally wouldn't go to, like the Upper East Side.
yeah, exactly. I'm like more of a downtown person myself.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know. Yeah.
yeah. I
No,
mean, I like
totally.
both, but I feel like the more north you go, it could be a little bit
Yeah,
puffy.
totally.
And then what have you been I want to get into legacy, but what have you been up to between your time when you were last on the show to filming Legacy?
Well, I moved to Los Angeles in 2020. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. So I live in LA. So that's a big change. We've lived here before, so it's good. It's great for the kids. It's a really awesome place to be. We have family here, so that's super helpful. And I feel like that's kind of, we wanted to kind of be closer to family after 2020. It was like, let's get some space and some fresh air and, move to the suburbs of New York, which is Los Angeles for us. And then, my kids have these hectic sports schedules. So I'm really a soccer mom and then still modeling. Yeah,
That's great. Was
busy,
it an
busy.
adjustment going from because I feel like the East Coast and West Coast are so different, but I mean, you did live there before, but was it still an adjustment to go from Manhattan to like the suburb?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because of COVID, we were quarantining in the Hamptons. So I had lived out of the city. The second the city shut down, we went to the Hamptons. So we were there for almost 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So Yeah. So, it's like one of those things where I was already living in the Hamptons in the off season during a pandemic. So for us, it was like we kind of came here and it was honestly really refreshing and not have to go back to the city. Cause I mean, I don't have to tell you, it was the city was a little sad at that point. So
I know, yeah.
yeah, we just felt like, Josh and I both work for ourselves and we can kind of live anywhere. And we're like, you know what? We'll always come back to New York. I don't doubt that we will live there again. I think right now it's better for our kids to be here, the family.
Yeah,
Hmm.
no, I agree with you. And the pandemic was scary. I mean, it made me happy to live in the suburbs, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So it actually was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm a little bit out.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I mean, totally. Yeah. Hmm.
So where in LA are you located?
I'm in
Are you
Calabasas. Have you
Calabasas?
heard of it? Have
Okay,
you heard of it?
yeah.
I always joke with people because if they haven't heard of it, I was like, you clearly don't watch the Kardashians.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people live in I remember that being a controversy on like Beverly Hills like years ago.
Oh, was it? What happened?
I think it was season 4. I think it was because Kyle had told Brandi that Lisa Vanderpump lived in the Valley at one point, and she used to make fun of Brandi for living in the Valley.
Oh yeah.
And then they started talking about like all the other celebrities that live there. And now I feel like everyone on that show lives in the Valley now.
Oh, do they? Yeah. And it's like it's weird because when you're in LA, there's a cutoff to the valley, and I think that's more Encino. So I'm actually technically not even in the valley. I'm actually farther than the valley. It's
Oh,
like if you're getting it's like Calabasas is apparently not even the valley. So it's kind of funny. Yeah.
that
It's its own little, island oasis out here. But we're 20 minutes from Malibu. Literally, I can leave my house right now. I go up over a canyon and I'm 20 minutes to the beach. It's kind of amazing.
that is amazing.
I know. It's a great place. Like that's where our date nights are, Malibu. We go there. Yeah.
Were you ever approached or have you considered possibly joining Beverly Hills?
That was my number one Bravo question. It's so funny. I think everybody just assumes that, when you have a girl in any of the franchises and they move to another place. But I mean, I would always consider something, but I think they have the most amazing cast, and I don't know who they would even want to get. Like, I think they have such a great cast. I don't know. I feel like in that sense, I'm such a New Yorker, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think it would be good to mix it up. I know this current season they brought in Cynthia Bailey a bit. Um,
Oh, I didn't know that. Love Cynthia. Yeah.
yeah, so she's like doing I don't know if she's a friend or she's doing guest appearances, but I know
Okay.
she like the last 2 episodes she was just on. So
Oh, she would be great.
seems like they're mixing it up. So I'm like that would
Yeah.
be cool if now they brought you in.
Yeah. Everything is getting mixed up, right? It's nuts. It's like they're stirring the pot a little bit, which is good. I think it needs a little bit of a mix up, a spice up, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I do. I kind
Yeah.
of Housewives shows from like before everything became a little bit too politically correct. I kind of miss Housewives shows from like 10 years ago because I feel like the women were a lot more of themselves. Now I feel like everyone's a little bit too hyper.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that that's what people are going to love about Legacy is that we've got the 4 OGs that kind of come back and it's like that nostalgia. I actually wrote it down from our interviews before. There was a couple people that said it feels like a nostalgic hug.
Oh, I like that.
And then it said one person said like it feels like we're coming home, which is like really warm and nice. And I really think fans are going to resonate with that because we do have that. There's something about the New York franchise, like for all these years, that's just, I don't know, I think it's a little different. It's a little special. I think the city is like an amazing glue for all of us women. Um, and I think that there's this like camaraderie with these women where it's like they kind of like pick at each other, but it's nothing is ever like really below the belt. It always comes full circle. And you could tell that the arguments and frustrations are becoming like really from love. And these women, they really have a deep history together, which is nice. Even like for somebody like me and Kelly, like coming into it, we still have our ties with all the women somehow, which also tie to the bigger picture of the city or the Hamptons or and I think it is like it's like coming home and it's like a warm hug. I think that's what view, especially over the holidays. I think people will be really happy with it.
Yeah, I do too. I think fans were, it was a very controversial move to just recast the whole show.
Hmm.
Um, And I think ratings did kind of prove it, because like that
Uh,
final season, the one that like it was the one that was very polarizing with, like, I think it was Ebony and Leah.
yeah,
Um
that was like that they also filmed over 2020, didn't they? Wasn't that like one of the first shows back? It was like that was
yeah,
rough. That was hard. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It was. And the ratings, I mean, they did go down, but they were still like, I think, around the 800 mark. And this new
Okay.
iteration with like all these new people, the ratings on average were half of that. So people,
Really? Oh,
yeah,
I
it was
didn't know that.
the on average ratings were like 450. So 450, for 150,000.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, I think, as well as other people, didn't necessarily make sense to like fire everybody. Because like fans connected with like those characters for like over a decade. And then
Yeah.
now they have this new series. I think they could have done two, realistically.
I
That's
think they tried to, didn't they try to? And that didn't work out. I
um
think that's what it was. I think they tried to and it didn't work out. So then they made it into a girls' trip. But I think that I don't know. I think because all of these women were so strong, I don't think they could have there was no replacing. It's like a whole you got to keep all these OGs together. Like not I'm not talking about myself. I mean like, the four that sort of left off with the last show that you were talking about. I don't think there's any, I guess it would just be adding women to it, but I don't know. I mean, listen, I enjoy watching the new one. I think it's refreshing. I think it's new. I think it really reflects Manhattan
yeah,
women today,
yeah,
you
that is
know?
true. It's like that's why I feel like they could have almost been like they
Yeah,
could have broken it apart,
two.
not like beat two, like the OGs and then like the fresh meat.
Yeah, 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 totally. Yeah, it's so funny. Sonja calls it we're the first wives and they're the new wives.
Yeah.
So, but again, like I think fans will really resonate with the new show. And I think I think the legacy show. And I think fans have to give it a minute. I think this next season with the new girls on RHONY, I think it's gonna be amazing. I think we really just needed to get to know them, and I think they needed to get to know each other. And I think it takes a minute when you're filming. Don't you
Yeah.
feel like it evolves, like the girls finally get used to the flow of it and how to manage their life with the filming and family and, work, and then like second, third season, it's like going to be fire. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, like they needed to get their feet wet a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And like learn the ropes kind of for everybody, for us watching them and then for them filming it.
Now, going into Legacy, did you ever meet Kelly before? Because you both worked
Mhm.
within the modeling industry. Did you ever cross paths?
Yeah, so we didn't cross paths with work. She's a little bit older than me, so I feel like we kind of missed each other there. I think she's, probably already married and having her kids and stuff when I was still working, full time or whatever.
Yeah.
And we see each other in the Hamptons quite a bit. We actually have a mutual friend, like a really good mutual friend in common. So a lot of times I'll be with that friend and, she'll be around or we'll say hi and it's like without fail every time I'm in the Hamptons at a restaurant, it's like either Kelly walks in or she's just leaving or, it's funny. So we see each other that way. Yeah. But it was great to really get to know her. It was nice well, you'll see.
Was it Scary Island 2.0 with her there or no?
I mean, you'll see. I don't know. What was your takeaway from the teaser?
It was hard to tell because I couldn't tell if like maybe she did kind of trip out for like a second, or if it was like a little bit of a long-term thing on the trip.
Well, it's funny because Scary Island keeps coming up, and fans have to remember that Scary Island was technically, I think, Turks and Caicos, or no, they were in a different island. So Scary Island wasn't the St. Bart's trip. I think a lot of people forget that. I don't know where it was. We'll have to look it up. I maybe it wasn't Turks and Caicos because I went on Turks and Caicos. Um, anyway, so yeah, I think that I mean, you'll see. How could it not be a little bit of a 2.0? Because people keep calling it that, but
Yeah.
you'll see. It definitely, I have only seen 3 episodes. So from what I've seen so far, we're not there yet, but I can't imagine we're not gonna get there. I haven't seen it all. I lived it.
Now, how was that? Because I feel like you're kind of like the baby of the trip, because you're definitely the youngest one compared to all of them. And I think
Yes.
I read like an interview where you said something like you felt like you were on a trip with like your aunts or something. So how was that experience
Uh,
for you?
well, I think that fans will be surprised at how much I've changed and how the women are so surprised with how much I've changed. I just feel like, when I first started this whole journey, I had little kids, and I feel like when you're a new mom and you have little kids and like your whole life is just so out of whack. And I felt like I was just really concentrating on my kids and kind of just keeping the peace. Like I was the only new girl in my first season,
Yeah.
so I was coming into this like franchise that was so huge, and these women were like, of course they're intimidating. It's Ramona and Luann and Sonja and Dorinda wasn't on my first season, but these women were like, I don't know, it was just kind of intimidating. And my personality was more about, like I've said this before, but it's like when people are, respecting your elders, like I always joked about that with Ramona, but it was sort of true. It's like, I don't know, I wasn't the kind of, I think I was just more aware of, I don't know, not really wanting to rock the boat. And this time around, it was so much different because we were all
Oh,
we were all literally on the same island, on the same boat, on the same island. We were all in it for 7 days. There was nobody who's worried about, because I know there's always talk about women worrying about getting a next season or what will be next. And I was just like, I am on a girls' trip. I was definitely there to work, and speak my piece and be vocal, and I wasn't holding anything back. And like I was on an island having a great time, in a bathing suit, having my rosé, having fun, being silly. And there was definitely some things that came up.
who do you find that you connected or reconnected with the most? And then on the flip side, who did you clash with the most?
I think you're going to be really surprised. I actually connected the most with Ramona. It's crazy.
Really? Okay.
Yes, yes. And it's funny because we had so much conflict in the press before I
I
started filming.
know.
You saw all that, right?
I know she was doing some interview. I don't know if I think it was page 6 with Avery, and then
Yeah.
she was like shading you, right? So
Again, I was like, so yeah, she definitely, we started off a little rocky, but we resolved it privately before, which I thought was great. We had a full conversation. And then so we went, I just wanted to go into it, and I think she did too. Like, okay, let's start in a good place. And we did. And you'll see, you're gonna be really surprised by Ramona in general. Yeah. And
oh,
then, I think Kelly and I, you'll see how, I mean, it was in the teaser. You can see a little bit of Kelly and I.
yeah. So that sounds interesting. How long were you guys on
Mhm.
that trip? Was it like total
7 days.
a full 7 days? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you stayed in touch? I mean, I know you guys are doing press now and all of that, but did you stay in touch with like everyone or mostly everyone after filming?
We have a group text.
Oh,
So it's kind of fun. It's like, people will be like, happy holidays or this and that, or what's going on, or did you get this, or are we doing that, or what are you wearing to this, or yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's
it's nice. It's like a little sorority. It's fun.
and would you say you're like, so you describe yourself as the wild card. Were there any other wild cards?
I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. So I was getting interviewed with someone who saw all 3 episodes, and they called me the wild card. Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you feel like you stir the pot the most a little bit without trying, maybe?
I think I'm just really vocal, and I think I think I don't know. I got Dorinda called me more confident, which maybe I am. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 10 years is a long time,
It is. Yeah.
to be away and kind of just be a different person. And like I said, I mean, just imagine before, it was like I kind of got thrown into this whirlwind. I had my daughter was like, 12 months, like 13 months old, 14 months old. So you have a little baby and, a preschooler. It's just like a different time. I think ooh, I just lost my earbud. It's so I think I don't know. It's for a woman, it's nice to come full circle.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What did you do a lot of activities on this trip?
Yeah, it's all the typical activities you could think of. What did you see in the trailer? Didn't we were on a boat?
Yeah, no, I
Hmm.
watched the whole trailer, but I feel like
Yeah.
trailers, especially these days with Housewives, they only like encompass so much. And
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't know like
Yeah.
if there was anything outside what was shown in the trailer.
Well,
Um,
yeah, there is. I just don't
any
know how much I can
feuds
say.
that
I don't want to
weren't
get in
shown,
trouble.
were there any feuds that were not shown in the trailer that are going to be really interesting once fans actually watch the full um Ultimate Girls Trip season?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I can't give anything away. I don't want to get in trouble.
I know. Let's keep going.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's like it's great. We have so much nostalgia that comes up, and then, we touch on a lot of things that I think that viewers will be like, "Okay, great. I'm so happy that came up," because like where do things stand with this or what is happening with that? We have a lot of that goes on. And then like new fun stuff that comes up with girls' lives and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like it's really there's a lot of great stuff going on. It's I think people are going to be really, really happy with this show.
Did you watch the other girls' trips, particularly the first 2 seasons where it had, like, cast members from, like, New York? Like, season 1 had Ramona and,
Uh-huh. I
uh
didn't see that whole one. I watched a couple of those. I watched Dorinda's because Brandi was on. So like I watched for them and I've been to Bluestone Manor and
that
loved
one was
Dorinda.
very good. That one was
Yeah.
very good. I feel like
And
this
the last one before ours, they went really far away, right? Where were they? In Asia or something?
yeah, that the 3rd one, I feel like, it was kind of blah, to be honest.
Mm,
I like the 1st one. I love the 2nd one.
mhm.
The
Yeah.
3rd was kind of like a bit of a, um I really didn't like the casting for it, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just
Well,
and I
people are
felt like
gonna
I felt like there wasn't really that many polarizing people on it, and I felt like it was a bit of a
mm,
snooze. Um,
that's hard. Yeah.
but this one with you, everyone's pumped. I feel like of those first 3, the 2nd one was the best, and I feel like this one's definitely gonna be on par, with that one.
Yeah, because everybody knows the girls, and I think there's something to be said for the women already knowing each other. I mean, this is just my opinion. I haven't been on a show other than with these women. So for
Yeah,
me, when I got asked, I was like, oh my gosh, first of all, like I know the girls already, which is half the battle. And then, I knew St. Bart's really well. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is just a win-win. But I would imagine on these other shows, if the girls don't genuinely know each other, it takes like a couple of 2 to 3 days to really gel with people. And then the stuff starts happening, whatever it is. So
yeah.
that's the tricky part. But yeah.
Were you afraid
Mhm.
to, like, sort of, like, film it through it again after watching the Bluestone Manor season last year?
No, no. And I think it's different. Like Dorinda was hosting, so that's like a really big responsibility. That comes up a lot. That's been coming up a lot in our interviews,
Yeah.
how it's hard. It's hard for her to, I mean, she really was like a producer because she had to do all that stuff. So,
Yeah, that is
definitely.
true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did think it was funny. I likened it to, like, a reality TV version of the movie Clue. Like, they're all stuck in this house and
I
anything
know.
could happen, and Jordan was very unpredictable, but I thought that that was funny. But
Because
at least you got, like, an exotic vacation and you weren't trapped in a house.
yeah, and it wasn't so far away. Like, I don't know how those girls do that filming when you've got to travel like 2 days to get there. That's really I think that's hard too. Yeah. I heard that they get to rest for a day or something before they start. They have to because you can't just get off of a flight like that and film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as opposed to St. Bart's where it was like a quick trip, which was nice.
But you guys filmed right away. Did you guys have
Mhm.
a rest day, or did you guys go straight
No,
into
no,
it?
no, we didn't because it's so close. So we just kind of kept going. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
No. Yeah, no, no, it's good. Yeah. Well, I can't wait for you to see it.
I know, I'm super pumped.
You're gonna have so many more questions once you see it, let me tell
I
you.
know I am. I know you're like your hands are tied right now. I guess maybe what's your highlight and like your like cringe moment, if you could say?
I think the highlight is just kind of getting back together with all these girls. And I mean, honestly, like I have to say, I was really honored that they did, that I did get chosen because I think there's so many amazing women. And I think it's like, I think after being away for so long, just being considered for something like this, I think is really great. Cause I gotta tell you, I was very happy living my life. And then you get this phone call and like, you go back and forth with it and you think like, you know what? It's really great that they even considered me, which because there's a lot of women to pull from. So I
Yeah.
think that was my highlight and like just being back at it and fortunate enough to be with my old cast in a place I really love. And the cringe moment was well, I really can't say, but I get called a couple of like really crazy names from one of the girls, and it's just so not me. I mean, I wish you knew me a little better. We could talk after, but you're just like, of all the things to call me girl, that is not what I am. So it'll be interesting for you to see what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I do
Yeah.
think like you were I'm glad you got the call, but I wasn't so surprised because you were like a power player when you were on because you were one of the first actually you're one of the only housewives to have gotten first seat at their reunion.
And isn't that so funny that that's a thing? And I had no idea, like no idea. You're saying I was one of the, I mean, I think a lot of
You're one
other
of the
first
only
timers.
housewives to get like the first seat on their first reunion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a really big deal.
It is, yeah, especially if you're like a newbie coming in to have the first seat. It's like
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I'll take it. It's exciting.
It is. That means you're bringing it. And I think that's part of the reason why everyone believed that like you quit the show because of the scandal
Mm,
that came out. Because that
yeah.
was the question that came up. And a lot of people believe that because I see like online and like Twitter and all this stuff. And people
Yeah.
really believe that like you like quit because of that. It would not that it
Well,
was.
listen, here's the thing. Not to say that if they did ask me back at that time, like I don't know that I would go on it, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know. So
So, but yeah, I'm super excited and super pumped. And then what do you want to plug anything? What are you up to these days outside of the show?
just my social Instagram at Kristen Taekman. Yeah, check me out there. My TikTok, all that good stuff. Am I one of the only housewives to not plug anything? We could plug eBoost. Should I go get one and show it to you?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
love Boost. I was
Okay,
thinking
hold on. I'm gonna get one. Hold. Ah, my husband will be happy. Let me see if I've got one around here. Let's see. Sorry.
oh no, it's
I
all good.
gotta. All right, give me 1 second. I'm coming. You're still in my ear though, so I can still hear you. Is it really cold there? I'm going tonight.
Oh, you are? Yeah, it
Yes.
is. So funny. I'm going into Manhattan tonight for iHeartRadio's Jingle Ball.
Oh my God, that's tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight at the Garden. So
Oh, fun.
yeah, after this interview, I'm gonna get ready for that. But it is chilly. So tonight in the city, let's see, what's it gonna be? It's gonna
I
be like,
know. I'm just trying to plan my jackets. I'm like in LA now. It's gonna be 80 degrees where I am today.
I
Like,
wish.
I know, I know.
It's gonna
Okay.
be high 30s tonight.
All right, so here's the booth. It's
Oh, I didn't realize
yeah,
you guys had like a drink for him now.
yeah, I've got cans now. So it's effervescent. So it's energy, immunity, and wellness. And the energy comes from green tea. It's got 10 essential vitamins and minerals. I did QVC for him for a while. So I'm the girl. Orange is my favorite.
Orange is your
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yay.
so awesome. I like
Yeah,
that.
fun.
Now it's like so now, I mean, I'm sure they still have the packets, right?
Yeah. So I travel with the packets, but I drink these at home because it's like bubbly, effervesces, which is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Because
So
listen, I love my coffee. Don't even get me started. Like I'm such a coffee girl, but you want to be hydrated, and then this has vitamins and minerals. So you get the same amount of caffeine, but it's all natural, which I love. So
yeah,
I do my coffee in the morning and I do my e-boost in the afternoon.
oh, I love that. Now
I
I need to
know.
go and buy those because I didn't
Yeah.
get it in like the liquid
Yeah.
form. It's so much more convenient.
Yeah. And it's like good for you. I mean, it's like, it's all natural, which is nice. So
Healthy.
there's no chemicals or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. One question I
Yay.
did want to ask you is, um, I know you said you're good friends with Brandi and that she referred you to the show, and she's kind of been through the ringer with like all this like bullshit that Caroline Manzo, who I don't even know why they brought back, is causing.
Love Brandi. Love Brandi. She's my girl. Love her, love her, love her.
How is she holding up? I know the entire cast is
I'm
on her.
not, I'm not, yeah, I'm just love Brandi so much. She's my bestie. She lives right next door. I'm actually going to meet her after this for lunch.
Well, we're definitely Team Brandi here, so
Yeah.
let her know
Love B.
that.
She's my girl.
Yeah, so this interview's been great. I'm super, super excited for this new series and your comeback. And I do think that you would be perfect on Beverly Hills. So
Oh, I don't
I
know. I think they have such a great thing going. I don't think they need anybody else.
do you really? I feel like it's a little bit too like chill. They need
Oh,
to
you do? Chill?
I feel like
Huh.
yeah, I feel like it needs to be mixed up. I feel like the golden era was like the first 5 seasons where you had like
Oh,
the spitfire
Brandi.
like
Yeah.
Brandi, where you had the Yolanda, where you had like the Camille and the Taylor. I feel like
Mm.
now it's a little bit like people like they knock on Kyle, but I feel like Kyle is the only one that tries to keep the story going.
Completely. And she's like the OG of them. She really, you're right. She is like the pillar of it for sure. Yeah.
I feel like you could tell like when you watch that show, she's playing producer now because I feel like all the others are a little bit too like image conscious. So they don't really want to
I
do
hear that. Yeah.
I mean like especially the newer people like the Dorits, the Crystals, the Garcelles. I do feel like Sutton does kind of mix it up naturally, but even she's a little bit like restrained. You know what I mean?
I met Sutton. I met a lot of women at BravoCon, but Sutton was one, and she was
How was
really
she?
lovely. She was great, honestly. I really liked her. Yeah, she was very nice to me. Yeah.
Good. Did you
But
ever
I
go?
love that. I love that show. I love, sometimes I like to base these shows like off of the cities I love. So it's like I love Beverly Hills. And it's so fun to see those ladies, you know, how they live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I feel like
Mhm.
any show, I think that's the one whose cast has changed. Like, I feel like Jersey's very slow at changing their cast. And I mean, I live
Mhm.
here. And I feel like the cast is a little bit like they should mix it up more. But I feel like Beverly Hills and OC, like they cycle through women like nonstop. I feel like,
Yeah,
do you feel
I
like that?
know it's hard. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think because the OGs of each show really carry it. So it's like, it's nice to get like a couple of new girls in every once in a while, but I hear what you're saying. I know. I don't know. I think the whole franchise is everything's shifting like with what they did to New York. And so who knows what the other seasons or series they're going to hold, you know?
I know. I feel like the next
Yeah.
big thing is crossovers
Could be. Yeah. Who
because
knows?
customers from different cities on different shows doing cameos. And I feel like that's like it's going to go from legacy into that more. And
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot more of crossovers. So,
Yeah, maybe. No, that's cool. I love that. Yeah, well, I can't wait for you to see. So the show comes out on Tuesday. So then you'll have a lot more questions. It's really great. And they're going to release 3 at a time. So you'll see the first 3.
I know that's impressive when they do that.
Yeah,
So
I know.
they like hit you with a bunch and then they like slowly
Yeah,
trickle out the
yeah,
rest.
totally. Yeah. I think it's a good plan. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
no, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
just
yeah,
people watching, like to get
yeah,
some tips.
totally. All right. Well, I'm heading to New York in a couple hours. So got to go finish packing. Got to
Yes.
get that coat, pack that coat. So
Good
I'll
luck.
be, yeah, we're premiering next week. So I'll be in the city all next week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, 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 totally.
Well,
Totally. All right, well, so great chatting with you.
safe travels and
Thanks.
I'll tag you on everything when it comes out.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, have a great weekend.
Thank
Oh,
you so
have
much.
fun tonight. The Jingle Ball is so cool.
Yeah, Jingle Ball. I'm excited. I don't know what
Oh my
time
god.
you're leaving, but if you have time, you should stop in.
Oh my god, right? Totally. All right, take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.